And this is Comic Picks by the Glick, your guru, your number one authority expert is here, Mr.
Such as
Jason
it
Wood.
is. Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
All right. So it's like I'm doing good. Just plugging away at as always. And in a shocking bit of continuity from last time, I will be talking about DC's latest event series, Flashpoint.
Awesome, awesome. Can't wait to hear it.
Oh, will you? Well, let's see how it goes, because originally I wasn't even planning on buying this series because I mean in theory, basically it's supposed to occupy a pivotal moment in DC history, because this is a series that basically heralded the New 52 as its reality altering antics, essentially reset continuity and set the stage for the DC relaunch of last year. But it's one of those cases where everything I heard about it was just kind of like meh. And so it's like that's the kind of buzz that just gets me to even think, okay, I'll just go ahead and see what the fruits of it are rather than the actual event itself. Now, it was released it's a 5-issue series. It was released as as I said, it's a $23 hardcover last year, and you can buy it for like $15 now in softcover. But the reason I picked it up is because when I saw it through Amazon, they were selling it for like 42% off. And so for the low price of $7.88, I looked at this and saw, what the hell? Yeah, so that's how you're getting this podcast right now. And the short version is, I don't know, to be honest, it's not all that great. I mean, compared to Jeff Johns' other DC mega crossover, Blackest Night, this is clearly the lesser series. And even though it has really one truly stellar idea behind it, it's an idea that's not entirely central to the series' reality warping premise, and a lot of this, and like the overall series itself, at 5 issues, it just feels way too short and compressed for a lot of the stories that they're trying to be told here. Okay, now basically the whole premise behind Flashpoint is that reality has been altered in weight, and the only person who can remember how reality used to be is the Flash, Barry Allen. Now, in this strange new world, Atlantis and the Amazons are at war with each other. Like Atlantis has sunk the Eastern European continent. The Amazons have taken up residence in Britain, and they're basically setting the stage to have the battle to end all battles. And as Barry Allen is like, he's trying to figure out how do I stop this world. He finds out that his enemy, Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash, may be behind it, and so he teams up with this universe's Batman in order to stop things. Now the closest comparison you can offer to the series is as far as I can tell, Marvel's classic X crossover, Age of Apocalypse. And I can say it's a classic because I was there I was reading it in high school when it came out, and so I get printed up upon me as one of the defining X-Men moments of the era. And you all know how much I love X-Men. So you've got, but the key difference here, first of all, the Age of Apocalypse has proved to be defining, an enduring moment actually, because of how not only did key characters from that series transfer over into Marvel Universe, such as Dark Beast, Nate Gray, the Sugar Man, and that's off the top of my head. Marvel has also gone back to revisit the series in miniseries form, and in the X-Force arc, the Dark Angel saga, and now in its new ongoing series. So clearly, this is a series that has a lot of resonance and has a lot of commercial appeal for Marvel. For Marvel to keep coming back to it after all these years. Now, the thing is about Age of Apocalypse is that it had a clear defining moment as far as what set about this world that was ruled by Apocalypse. Basically, Professor X was killed by his son David Haller on Legion, who had gone back in time to try and kill Magneto, but he failed. But Professor X was killed, and that sets the stage for Apocalypse to take over the world, and Magneto to lead a much darker and less hopeful version of the X-Men. And it's like it's been a while since I've read these comics, but they still have that that one defining moment that you look at this and understand, like, okay, yes, things have changed, and I can see that, okay, this is probably how they would affect things, like if this is how things would play out if Professor X wasn't there. Magneto would take over the X-Men because it was the dying wish of his friend. Wolverine and Cyclops would have they would have gone their own separate ways because they can't stand each other and couldn't be forced to work together. Things like that. But but with Flashpoint, well, the thing is, the big twist, the one defining moment that changes reality was apparently, as far as I can tell, set up in the Flash's own series, which lead-in called Road to Flashpoint, which I figured, okay, it's not it's a prelude, but it can't offer that much of a pivotal influence. You have to save the big reveal for the miniseries itself, right? Anyway, I don't know. I can't say how well it's set up because Flashpoint didn't inspire me to buy that tie-in volume to check it out. It did inspire me to buy one tie-in volume, but we'll get to that in a bit. But the thing is, the big defining moment which caused reality to alter in shocking and unexpected ways. Really, you look at this and think, really, that was it? I don't buy it at all. And you don't find this out until the very end. But it's you're just kind of left thinking oh, it is real anticlimax. And I can admit, I understand John's attempt to try and twist things by having the hero be the ultimate perpetrator of how things went wrong, but it still doesn't really grab me or come off as particularly compelling. It also features what is probably one of the dumbest moments I have read in superhero comics this year. I certainly hope it's the dumbest thing I'll read this year, because I think that I'd see something dumber than this. Because when we start off the series, Barry Allen, he's got no powers. He's just a normal guy, but he's still got his memories, and so he tries to figure out a way. Okay, but in order to save this world, I have to get my speed back, because I need to go back and change time. So what does he try to do? Oh, he tries to recreate the incident that caused him to be the Flash, being struck by lightning with all these bizarre chemicals. Now, that particular origin is just kind of it's a silver age origin that just kind of strikes me as being, okay, I can understand being struck by lightning and having all these chemicals splash on you gives you super speed. Okay, fine. But to try and say that, oh, this is a exact scientific method, no. But that's not the dumbest thing. The dumbest thing is that he gets struck by lightning, doused by these chemicals, and it doesn't work. So he's lying there with third-degree burns over his body. Batman's trying to treat him, and Barry's going, okay, I need to do this again, only with a bigger bolt of lightning. Yeah, that's what we're talking about here, and the worst part is it works. So, I mean, yes, I get the feeling Johns was shooting for a big cliffhanger moment at the end of the second issue, but to try and do that, but the way he goes about it is it's just irredeemably stupid, and I just can't get behind it. I mean, there are some nice moments in this series, like when we find Hal Jordan has a nice heart with his pilot, with his mechanic, Hector Hammond, before he goes off to war. The reveal of the Flashpoint Superman, and how he's a startlingly different presence from when he was before, and Element Woman, who's just like such a goofy presence that it's hard not to like her. But overall, it's like I said, it was set up as like it was designed to set up the New 52, basically saying that Barry's efforts to change the universe back resulted in this new timeline that reboots everyone's continuity and incorporates the Wildstorm and certain characters from Vertigo here. But overall, I can say you can just skip it. However, though, it does, however, have one really great twist to it, and that is Flashpoint Batman. Because Flashpoint Batman is not Bruce Wayne. It's his father, Thomas Wayne. Because in the Flashpoint universe, Bruce was shot and killed, and this drove Thomas to be the Dark Knight. And that story is chronicled in the one ancillary volume I picked up, The World of Flashpoint featuring Batman. And this story was also chronicled by an A-list creative team of Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Risso, who gave us the classic 100 Bullets in the new ongoing series Spaceman, as well as other great collaborations as well. It's a collection of a 3-issue series, and to be honest, I just wish that this series, that they'd been given more room to to tell this particular story, because it's going to be hard to just because as an interesting concept as it is, I imagine it'd be kind of hard to try and go back to this particular idea later, like at some point in the future, because I can't, like I said, it hasn't even been a year, but like I said, I can't imagine this having the same resonance as Age of Apocalypse. So to try and have this story expanded upon, I'm feeling we're grasping at straws here. But if DC wants to indulge Azzarello and Risso to do this, I say let them. I mean, because even though it's in the short amount of space that they've got, Azzarello still sets up an interesting depiction of Thomas Wayne as Batman, as he's setting up a casino to try and bring crime to him to help facilitate its control, and that he's also a killer as well. Because when he encounters Killer Croc, well, one of them's not walking away from that particular encounter, and he's also a friend of Jim Gordon as well. So it's interesting to observe that particular relationship too, and of course but the main thrust of the story is of course the Joker, because you've got to find out if there's a Batman. The alternate reality Batman story, you've got to have the alternate reality Joker as well. And this one, this one was certainly clever and surprising, because I'm not going to spoil anything for readers out there, but it's certainly a drastically different take. And like I said, it's a good story, but I just would have loved to have seen them be given more pages to work with. If only because there's just so much more that could have been expanded upon here. Yeah. That being said, the World of Flashpoint featuring Batman features 3 other 3-issue miniseries as well. Dead Man and the Flying Graysons, Deathstroke and the Curse of the Ravager, and Secret 7. Now, and looking at all these, they really don't inspire me to buy the other ancillary volumes as well. Dead Man and the Flying Graysons, I mean, it's basically Boston Brand being a dick, and I'm working in a circus with Dick Grayson and his parents, and they run afoul of the Amazons trying to get their hands on the Helm of Naboo, and I couldn't really bring myself to care about a lot of these characters, especially Dead Man's mega jerk characterization here. It's even though it's he even his his realignment with his DC Universe incarnation just feels forced and not particularly inspired here. We're following a script here rather than any storytelling impetus. Deathstroke and the Curse of the Ravager is a little better because it's you got Slade Wilson, the like DC Universe's one-eyed mercenary badass, being a pirate. He's going after. He's trying to scour the seas for his daughter, coming up against the Flashpoint version of Warlord, and it's got some fun, like fun pirate action here. But it's like I could just take her to leave it. As far as far as actual story being told here, it's got some nice art from Joe Bennett in the first 1.5 issues. Though the artists were clearly pressed for time as the series went on, and the art just takes a real big hit as it goes on. Now the last miniseries here, Secret Seven, it's actually has more of interest to a reader like me because it's written by Peter Milligan and it's centered around one of the characters he helped define, Shade the Changing Man. However, though it's got some Milligan's quirkiness in the writing, but it's basically the story of Shade being forced in the position of being a leader again, meeting up with a nice girl, and then worrying that he may have killed his entire team beforehand, and he's made to do it again. So, I mean, it's just basically a miniseries to explain one of the plot points in Flashpoint, where one of the supporting cast turns traitor, and now you can understand why they did that by reading this. It does read like Milligan had may have some intentions by having to have this version of Shade turn up in the DC universe, or bizarrely enough, he could maybe making this version of Shade retroactively the one that he originally wrote his series about. But overall, it's got some nice art from, surprisingly, George Perez who does the first half of the first issue. Then Fernando Blanco takes over and does a pretty good job with the rest of the series. I mean, it's average Milligan, which means it's more distinctive than the other two stories featured here. But it's still not. But it's not something I'd say would be worth the price of this volume alone. The Batman story. Well, let's say I kind of wish this is maybe just this only collected 3 issue miniseries, because then I could easily say that the second miniseries was crap, but then Batman. A Batman was worth buying by itself. This one, well, like I said, I bought it so I could have something to talk about for this podcast. And while Azzarello and Risso's story is good, it's clearly the best part about this volume by far.
By far.
By far.
So you're saying save your money on the.
Yeah, it's were I a betting man, I would think that if Azzarello and Risso are still on good terms with DC in the next say 4 or 5 years, they may do what DC did for Warren Ellis and John Cassaday's Planetary Batman miniseries, one shot, which is they could reissue this series in a deluxe hardcover edition with some extras to fill out the page count. But because this is clearly tied in as an alternate version of the character, it's it's tied into this specific event, so it's debatable whether or not DC would want to how much mileage they would get out from milking an alternate version of the character. Granted, it's Batman and it's from an established creative team, so that's why I think it may be possible, but I wouldn't bet on it.
And yes, absolutely. Is that it for all of us? Is that it for tonight, sir?
Yeah, it's that's it. And like I said, just tonight, basically, I'm just talking about it's a complete wash here. If you don't spend any money on what I'm talking about here, then that I consider that money well saved.
All right, and we'll catch you next time on Comics Picks by the Glick.
All right, later, everyone.
All right, see you later. Bye.